Hey folks, welcome to the stream at at very long last. It's been a moment. It's been a little bit. It's been a little bit. Let me quiet this a little bit as well. It's yeah, we're back. It's been a while. I appreciate that. Tuesday I had other obligations. Wednesday I was out doing other stuff. Yesterday, Thursday, British general election. So I was following that most of the night. I was going out as well. I went to like a networking event thing. And obviously I stayed up way too late watching the results from the election roll in. I was up until about 4:30. So it's been a yeah, busy week. Been struggling with a little bit of demotivation. But we're back. Josh will possibly be joining us as well as at a later date. Yeah, election stuff is done. My housemates have left, so it's just me. So I can scream as loud as I want if I really like, but you know, for the sake of your ears. And yeah, it's a nice rainy day here in the southern UK, washing away the 14 years of Tory rule. How's everyone doing? How's your week been? What you thinking of? How's your Friday? Looking forward to the weekend, I bet. I'm not entirely sure what we're going to do today. I'm planning to stream until about 9ish. My time. And yeah, just sort of a bit of a chill stream. I've set up a second monitor, which is crazy. Look, my mouse is here, and now it's gone, and now it's back. That's insane. I've had this monitor for ages. I thought it was locked in a cupboard. It was not. It was in another cupboard that was not locked. But you know what? We roll. 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 That's weirdly a bit of a tongue twister. But yeah, let's see how we're doing. Interestingly, I think, did Josh touch this? Because we set up a couple of these at different ranges last time, but there's only one of them, which I'm just going to delete. I know Josh has been working on some changes as well. We've got our lovely testing environment here. I've genuinely been away from the project since the last stream. It's been really rough. My work has started again. For those that don't know, I'm a virtual reality developer. So, oof, something stuck in my throat there. So I've just been kind of, back to work. All right, let's essentially the state where we're at right now. I mean, let's just like launch the game. That's probably a good way to get an appreciation of where we're at. So obviously we've got our like sprint going. You can sprint and you can crouch. But the crouch is really, this is one of the issues I have. You can see the crouch is really sort of stuck. I do wonder if you guys are also noticing the like ghosting if I stand up to this. You can kind of see like there's a little flash there. Would I show you some weapons? Tasoka? I'm not sure how you pronounce that. In terms of weapons, that's something more in Josh's reign. I can show you sort of the assets that we've got laid out here. This is some of the stuff the absolutely lovely Captain Knight has been working on. These aren't functional just yet. These are just the models. The reason they're not functional yet is because the code itself isn't really there yet. you'll have to ask Josh, because I actually haven't been really interacting with any of the weapon stuff. What I can tell you is we have the SMG-30, which is just our temporary placeholder weapon. So this is something I made a little bit ago. You can actually get this on the marketplace if you're really keen. But yeah, so this is our sort of temporary placeholder weapon, just because it's fully rigged and ready and has all the animations that we need. And that's something Josh has been working on. So I've been slacking off. I've been busy with work and that sort of stuff. I was not a member of the H&G developer team. I don't think none of our developers were H&G ex-devs. The only person who was associated with H&G was Josip, who's our community manager and sort of, kind of a project manager as well. And I believe he was part of their QA team, but you'd have to ask him to get the details. I'm not too familiar. So yeah. No, I'm feeling pretty good though. We're sort of at like a moment where a bunch of stuff is slowly coming together. So we have a couple of hurdles, some technical hurdles that we've been battling with. So one of them is sort of this movement state stuff that I've been tackling. The other is the weapon and equipment system logic that Josh has been working on. And yeah, those have been kind of the two big blockers. And once we can kind of get through those, we'll have a slightly better way forward. I'll also take this moment just to mention that I'll be gone for the next week-ish. So this coming week I'm away. I'm seeing some family. So I'll be back the 13th. Whenever does this show a calendar thing? Do you show a calendar? It does show a calendar. Excellent. You can see how little I use Windows. I'll be back this Saturday. So we'll be back on stream 16th and 19th. But I think you'll see a kind of quiet week coming. Captainite's still moving. Josip will be back. But me and Josh will sort of be away from the project a little bit, just stepping away for a brief moment, so that we're not too stressed out. Yeah, it's I've been feeling it a lot. It's one of the reasons I haven't been so productive lately. When we started the Warbound project, that was pretty much right on the cusp of all of my exams and dissertations for the final year of my bachelor degree. So we started the project and I went straight to working on my dissertation, and it's the same time that I was starting a new job as well. So I was doing really long days for the job, overnights, just really crunching to get that first assignment in, because it ended up being way bigger than my boss thought and way bigger than I had predicted that it would take. And then I kind of delved straight into my dissertation, and then right after the dissertation, I delved straight into exams. And so I've been kind of crashing the last 2-3 weeks as sort of, I don't have to do anything really, and now my work's picking up again, so it's never ending. I'll rest when I'm dead. As we say in Slovakia, I'll sleep in a wooden coffin, or sorry, I'll sleep in like a wooden bed, in the sense that it's like a coffin, We'll see. Josh will probably hop on at some point. I know that he had some things that he wanted to chat about. But for now, my goal is more to first let me submit I actually haven't pushed the changes from last stream, which goes to show just how little I've touched the project as a whole. But let's push those so that people can have them. Lumen's having a field day here. And let's... I'm going to try and catch up just a tad on sort of the last spot that I've just seen Phoenix's suggestion for dev stream ping roll. This is very much something that that I want to do. I don't know how much I can talk about this actually, but we've been working on a bot for the server, and one of the things that bot will handle is going to be kind of, you know, you react to something, like you react to a message with an emoji, and you know, you'll get a role, and then we can ping that role whenever the dev stream goes live, or you know, we can also give people the option to customize roles, you know, their factions, maybe, you know, whatever. But we want to release like a battle tested 1.0 of that bot when it does get released, and that's just something that we haven't gotten to yet, and it's also kind of difficult to prioritize. That's one of the things that Yosip has a lot more involvement in, because it has to deal with a little bit more of sort of the community management side of things. And so it's nice that he's back now, and he'll be able to, you know, help push that forward as well. I'll be working on it even when on kind of quote unquote holiday, because, you know, I've got nothing to do. I'll be genuinely sitting in an airport for about 6 hours, because it was way cheaper to get the early morning flight, but a train won't get me there. So I'll get to the airport at like midnight, and my flight leaves at like 7 a.m. So those 6 hours, that is bot dev time. That is absolutely bot dev time. It's also sort of tricky balancing like game dev work and sort of working on the actual game and stuff that we can show you, and then working on infrastructure stuff, or, you know, the bot or stuff like that, because people like get really eager to see progress, and yeah, it's kind of tricky to meet people's expectations, really. Anyway, how you doing? I'm Refter. It's nice to see you on the stream. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good Friday. Welcome to the stream. Let's let me check the whole ability system that we got going on, because prone is I'm pretty sure this is working. Let's just do a cheeky double check, because the problem I have right now is sort of the way Unreal handles states isn't really in line with or sort of the way that some stuff is implemented in the character movement that Unreal provides isn't really in line with what we perhaps like it to be. But I'm just gonna do, that's the wrong line. That's a dot, not a comma. Yoink. Alright, that's a very lazy way of checking it, but hey. In programming, if it's stupid but it works, it's not stupid. So quick little build. I've built the project already, so it should be pretty quick. Really, I'm just checking if the prone key. Yeah. Easy does it. Yeah, okay. Those can go. And this is one of those things that I'm not a huge fan of doing on stream, because it's a lot more fun to do some of those map design stuff, which, I don't know, let me know in the chat if you're interested in taking a look at some more map design today. But for now, the priority is I'm going to look into the character movement component here. Just gonna toss it like that. And I'm going to look at any and all stuff to do with crouch. Because it's this that there's like this crouched half height variable. And I'm just going to find the usages. So this is within the crouch function itself. So the reason I'm trying to look at this here is because if you remember when we're in game and you crouch, it's a sudden snap, which is happening here. Or rather, this is just a check for it. But setting here, set capsule size. It's just being sort of set in one frame, and the goal would be to have that sort of smoothly interpolate. So sometimes we do that by doing like a custom crouch function that works on tick, but this crouch function does a lot of like network logic for us and stuff like that. So in a single player game, this would be 11 billion times simpler, because we just kind of override the crouch function and write our own. But multiplayer complicates that just slightly, because you can see all of this is just changing the height of the capsule. It's just, yeah. Networking is fun. I'm so glad we're making a multiplayer game. At the same time, I feel like a single player Warbound would not be quite so entertaining. So, you know, straight offs to everything. So this is just checking if our collision is fine. Which it, you know. What is on start crouch? Called when character crouches. Why is there an on start crouch? What does on start crouch do? It runs the blueprint function in the character. Okay, so that's just the character doing things with the character's own data. Okay. I'm probably gonna quit Steam actually, just to avoid potential situations. Crouching to a larger height. Can I virtual void crouch override here? I'm interested. Is our phys custom is our prone. Let's do a crouch. That's not what I wanted. if we override crouch and we toss it pragma region crouch, and crouch, does this ever actually call super crouch? It doesn't. Interesting. Okay, and now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy all of this. We're gonna go in here. We're going to do that and just paste it. If you're wondering why I'm doing it like this, essentially, this is engine source code. I can't really modify this without grabbing a source build of the engine, which is a 350 gigabyte download and an even larger build size. If you ask Josh, he will tell you we will need it eventually, because to build dedicated server copies, you need that source build. But it's not something that we need just yet. And for the development streamlining part of it, it makes it a lot faster and a lot easier for us to just use this version. And just not touching Epic space classes is good practice in general as well. So now I need to fix all of the build issues with this, which mostly are just the capsule component is incomplete. Okay, let's see if that'll build, because sometimes it yells about random, like just stuff that's already declared in the parent class. I don't think this is declaring anything new, but it's worth just checking. And nice, build succeeded. There's some warnings. Public access to this property is deprecated and will become private in a future release. That's worth keeping in mind. That's which variable? 3.2. Crouched half height. Okay, so crouched half height will become private at some point. Okay, crouch is working just fine. So is our sprint. And let's just double check that our crouch is working. That's what these are for, so I can't go there. Now if I crouch, I can move down here. And this is one of the issues with the way that our character is constructed, is that when crouched, that's really interesting. I didn't actually know Unreal had that feature. But if I uncrouch under something that's too high, when I get out from under it, I uncrouch automatically. Interesting. I've been using this character movement component for almost 8 years now. You learn something new every day. Okay, well, the base check there works, so this is fine in theory. I also don't entirely believe that that Epic will deprecate this particularly quickly. Okay, they want you to use getters and setters. Fair enough. Let's why not? Let's do that. Oh, not in the base movement component, please. Let's do it here. Replace that with get crouched half height. Get crouched half height. Oh, hi Josh, welcome to the stream. Yeah, they're doing some... on one hand, I doubt that they'll ever actually swap it out, because it's Epic and they, never release a shit. And sometimes don't really follow through with updates. But, yeah. Okay, I'm going to assume... Again, I'm sort of learning the code here, so this is not particularly exciting from a development progress front. But yeah, we've got. I think that the line I've just commented out is the one that actually updates the height. So, and I'm absolutely right. I'm currently just like spamming the crouch key and nothing is happening. I do wonder about actually slowing down. Now what I'm gonna try is, do we have a tick in here? We do have a tick component. Okay, so essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to toss this line down here. And then we need to somehow update the like extrapolated clamped crouched half height and get the old unscaled radius. What I'm actually going to do here is I'm just going to look up the source code for FPS Core. So for those of you that are not familiar, FPS Core is a plugin that I made. It's really funny. It comes up on Google as a video game that runs on idTech 3, because there is actually a video game called FPS Core, but Google's gotten them confused. So if you look at FPS Core as the video game, you'll see screenshots of the actual game and then my plugin and like the source code. Yeah. Is this somebody making a video on FPS Core? I'm actually quite curious. Because I didn't know people. I mean, I doubt it because I don't think FPS Core came out back then. But you reckon this is YouTube's terrible new design? But yes, so this is FPS Core. This is my plugin. I'm going to go to where the character is defined because I want to nick a couple lines of code from here, from the tick function that handles the crouching. So this is all of the crouching code. Do you reckon that's ever going to load? Oh my god, Josh is here. Hello, Josh. It's nice to hear you again. It's been a little bit. How you holding up?
Yo. Yeah, not too bad. Just getting on with the animation stuff.
How you
Hence why
feeling
you
about-
can't see the guns or anything at the moment.
Yep. Tell it to the people.
Ooh.
How you feeling
yeah,
about the election, huh? Did you stay up or?
No, I was sleeping.
Fair enough. I respect it. I respect it. I was up till about 4 a.m.
Me being awake ain't gonna change anything, so I went good old bedo.
Oh, for sure. I was just, it was quite interesting just to watch the election kind of.
I mean, I saw the video of Sky News flexing their new setup, which I'm like, Lamau, you're using Unreal Engine now.
Everybody is. It's really funny.
Yeah, they just nicked it from their football setup, so it was kind of funny. So they made like a whole video about showing it off and everything. It was quite funny to watch.
Interesting. I was watching the BBC's coverage.
I mean, I never watched Sky News' actual coverage. I just saw the video on YouTube where they were just showcasing this new technology they've got, which they nicked from their football team.
I see.
And I was like, yeah, good job. You're using Unreal Engine like pretty much every
Is it?
TV production company is pretty much using now.
Okay. Yeah, it's. I mean, it's cool, right? Like it's.
Oh yeah. I always find it creepy that they were like the people like thing they have set up where there's like a 3D. No, there's still
Oh,
like a
like
3D
on
wall.
on the benches of like Parliament.
Yeah, but the head's like following the camera.
Oh, that's. I gotta check this out. What was it? Sky News, you said?
Yeah, you
Um.
know what I mean. There's just a bit where you just see like Richie Sunak's model just staring down the camera. Just like,
Oh boy,
I'll see if I can find it for you. There's like a very short video that just came across. It was quite funny.
that's not what I want.
Sky News.
Was it on YouTube or like on some Sky
Yeah,
News website? Come behind the scenes with Sky News. That seems. That's why is Sky
that
News
might be
running
it.
ads? Is it this vertical video?
I want a vertical video, but I'm guessing they've done a vertical version.
It's like a drone flying around their studio.
I wasn't that one.
I know this just looks like all of the people like reporting on it.
Just browse my YouTube issue, which will be hard because I'd like doom scroll early.
So you know how you're like, oh, me with my two monitors, I've got such a cool setup. Look at these guys, Jesus Christ.
It's great.
Crazy. Okay. So what
Oh
I'm
my
doing
God.
here,
Yeah.
FPS scores pretty well commented, as you can see. So those of you watching, if you can read the text, if the stream quality is high enough, I keep meaning to up that, but I keep forgetting. You can kind of see what it's doing. So most important is this stuff. New half. So we want the new half height. Currently, we're not going to bother with that, or that, or that, really. And essentially, the way that this is working is every frame, it's interpolating between two values. One is the like current size of the capsule, and the other one is the target capsule scale, and then we have an interpolation speed. So I don't know if this is really dumb or really smart, but we'll find out. Guess I need to get character owner. What's old unscaled radius? Old unscaled radius. Because the radius isn't going to change, so it's not the best thing in the world, but I'm just going to toss that there. And we'll just access that every frame, just in case it changes. That we can make like 20. And what do we reckon for the target half height?
There it is.
If I just make like a private, what is it? Is that actually? It's a float. I actually don't need the private. I've done the private already at the top. And then right after this, we go target half height equals clamped crouched half height. And then in there we have target half height. Now let's rebuild, and we'll see how spectacularly I've broken this. In the meantime, let's watch the technology thing. I hate advertising. I hate advertising. We're not watching the advertisement on stream. There's not a corporate stream. There's a free, open source supporting stream. Oh, that is weird. Oh, but they're like 2D as well. What the
Yeah.
heck? What?
But it's not that, it's the fact the heads follow.
Yeah, that's really weird. What? What the heck?
Honestly, I thought it was just like a traditional 2D image. I'm thinking, okay, football does that. But then when the full length of having
Because
like
they're like you can like see them like kind of swiveling, like they're not entirely like steady, right? They're like shifting around a little bit, and it's like okay fine, it's like a 2D cutout. That's really creepy. That's so weird.
You see what I mean?
That's so weird. That's so weird. Why is his face like that? It's also weird because he's like looking like to the left of the camera, right?
Yeah, they're not looking directly. They're like looking to the side.
He's like constantly looking to the left of the camera, and then the way he like changes to look forward is so weird, dude. What the heck?
It's just look at him on the left towards the end. He's just staring you down. Oh yeah, they've also got a 3D cat model.
The cat model I respect. I think the BBC showed some clips of that as well. That's like the 10. That's weird.
But yeah, I just found it funny. I was like, Jesus Christ.
That's so weird.
That means then poor souls had to be in the scanning studio at some point.
That's so weird. How are they doing like the... I was just wondering, like, is this high resolution enough for me to... Not really. Like... That's so weird, dude. That's so weird. Okay, let's see how much I've broken the game.
Probably a lot.
That's interesting.
They're like snapping back.
Okay, no, this does make sense actually, because I don't think I've ever actually set the target half height on uncrouch. I would guess that's what's going on here anyway. Uncrouch, yes. Oh god, why is uncrouch bigger than crouch? What the heck? Okay, let's go here. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Virtual void uncrouch. And that is the correct uncrouch. And now I'm just gonna go over here. And once again, yoink the entire uncrouch function. Just to modify like 2 lines. Furky33 ideas for RTS part. That's an interesting question. The RTS is such a like hugely complicated section of the game. It's also the part that's a lot trickier to design for. We've had a lot of ideas. We've gone through a lot of concepts, I would say. I wouldn't even say iterations because we haven't actually prototyped any of them yet. We've gone from something very similar to H&G with like all the lines and kind of cities being little dots to like even like not cities and stuff like that, and it was just kind of, you know, how if you look at like a map of like, I mean, the UK constituencies are what I'm thinking of right now, just because that's something I've been looking at within the context of the election, right? But we were thinking at one point that this is not what we're planning on going for, but just to like demonstrate how much we're thinking of sort of outside of just sort of like different ways we can do this. One of our ideas was like each of these would be their own sort of section on the map that you would be able to capture, and each one of them would have like, let's say, like a 3-strike system. So you'd fight 3 battles in each, well, in this case, constituency in another place of the world, canton or state, or, you know, and essentially after a certain amount of battles, you take it, and then you'd be able to attack competing, you know, almost like, you know, Risk or something. That's not what we're going to be doing. I'd like to be very clear here, but we do have a lot of ideas. We just haven't been really vocal about it because, frankly, a lot of them suck. In particular, like my ideas, because I didn't play the H&G RTS as much. I am, you know, my extent of RTS is like Men of War Assault Squad 2 or something, which is more kind of micro scale RTS than the sort of macro scale of H&Gs. So, yeah. We'll see where we end up. We have a lot more thinking to go before I think we're comfortable sort of settling on anything. But you're welcome to disagree with me there, Josh.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's all up in discussion at the moment. There's nothing really particularly set. I mean, sure, we might have like the foundations kind of laid out now to some degree, but the details are still being ironed out. So that's probably not really being overly public on it, except from what we're going to say, expect something like H&G's RTS systems, but we'll be doing our own kind of take on it. You know, improving on it where we think needs improvement and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think that's well said. How you doing? That's a tough fucking name to pronounce, my guy.
Well, H&G is in the name.
Qtaisilin. Yeah, I totally noticed that H&G was in the name.
Qtaisilin. I'll say that. There we go.
Is that anywhere close?
I'm just pronouncing how it's spelled.
I mean, that's pretty close to what I would have said. I was thinking like it's like a.
I'll just take H-U-G out of the name.
Yeah, well, see, I didn't, and I was gonna be like, it's like a misspell like Ing last name or something. I don't know.
Or is H&G actually not a reference to heroes and generals and actually part of the name? Oh, beautiful.
Perfect pronunciation. I'm sensing sarcasm.
I'll take it.
You get what you get, you know?
Exactly.
Okay, I still don't know where the fuck this crouch function is.
It might be where the crouch function is.
Really? Really? Oh my god, Josh. Thank you so much. Holy shit. I did not think of that. No way. Yo, that's crazy.
Hey, the crouch function ain't where you're looking now. There you go.
It's like right there. Anyway.
Oh, why is my Twitch doing that thing again?
Anyone been catching up on The Boys season 4?
So I had a very wonderful time watching the recent episode.
Episode 6 from yesterday? Yeah, that was an interesting one. It's a very interesting one, actually. For perhaps some of the wrong reasons.
I learned a lot of stuff that day that I don't think I'd ever learn.
I concur. I very much concur.
The Boys series has taught me many things. Did I need to know these things? No, but I learned them.
Did I perhaps want to know these things? Also, no. But hey, props to the actors, I suppose, because I don't think I'd have been able to act that episode with a straight face. I'm trying to avoid spoilers here, just in case, like, one of the
I have a feeling
couple
it
people
would have had
watching.
many takes. Wish it would have made it worse.
Just imagine, I'm again trying to avoid mentioning specifics, but imagine being asked to do that like 8 times.
Yeah, because someone kept laughing.
God.
And you know, at some point, someone would have like intentionally messed up. Because I totally would do the same.
Oh, we use a slightly taller capsule to avoid penetration.
Huh?
We use a slightly taller capsule to avoid.
Oh, you're on about code.
Yes. Oh my god.
I mean, you were on about the boys a minute ago, and I heard the word penetration, and yeah,
I
I was like half listening.
I don't entirely blame you. I don't entirely blame you. Huh. Okay, target half height equals default character dot get capsule component dot get unscaled half height. Okay, let's see this. This should hopefully work. So, excuse me. If this works, I'm a genius and I'm the greatest programmer that ever lived. Is basically my takeaway. If this doesn't work, I'm dropping out of uni and reapplying because clearly I didn't learn it the first time around.
There's Paxo when you need him to get ready with the clipping button.
With the what?
The clipping button.
That's very interesting.
Is it like a spring effect?
Yeah, it literally it feels like a spring.
Is it because it's overshooting?
I mean, it shouldn't. It's just a lerp. It's just an F interp 2, which is just a lerp but for floats. I do wonder if it's still doing the collision checking. It is. That's pretty fun. But yeah, it is like a spring effect. Like it goes up really quickly and then down again, which is weird. I wonder if it's the on-end crouch half height adjust function. I do wonder if it's this actually. If I just do that, and that might break some stuff, but that's okay for the sake of testing right now.
Oh.
Oh.
Ah, that makes sense.
All right, let's run this test real quick. It's not that. Okie dokie. Well, I can undo those. Why is that? That's really weird.
Was that going to be happy with that now? No, of course not. Woo!
That's just the spring arm offset. Crouched in default. Yep. I was because this is scaled and this is get unscaled. That could be a reason. If it's this, I'll be happy that I found it, but it's going to be very goofy.
So if I do that, and then put that in.
Let's find out. Nope. That's such a weird effect.
Sweet.
Okay. What did I call the... Looking for crouch speed. What was crouch speed for FPS core? FPS core called it 10. Let's try it with 10. Just out of curiosity. Oh, I might have figured it out.
Class settings. Move that for now. No. These classes aren't really not too weapon. Some point.
Okay. Is it this? 0.1. How do you set the world time dilation by console command again?
Are you trying to like make it slow mo?
Yeah.
It's literally the command is like literally called slow mo, I think. But then,
Oh,
then
yeah.
you put like a
Yeah,
value.
you're right. You're right. It also like totally hasn't done anything, and there's so much smearing. Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know why they're smearing.
I'm pretty sure that's just a lumen thing.
Probably. I've noticed it quite a bit sometimes with like shadows and that.
But you see how it like bumps the character every time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure why it does that, because that's what's causing the thing. Because it bumps the character up, right? And so when you're crouching, it doesn't really matter. That's weird. It's also like way more violent to bump when the crouch happens. Sorry, on the uncrouch. Yeah, it's an issue that we're having right now. I'm actually not sure what's causing it. It's something in Epic's default crouch code, because we're trying to, by default it like snaps to crouch and then snaps to standing up, and we'd like to get it to like a smooth crouch, but it's proving to be a little bit trickier than originally envisioned. So, I wonder if I just like actually, why am I doing that? I can just like yoink one of these around it. So I think it's needs to be like that. Yeah, let's see if I just toss away all of the height checking code, if that'll help. Might just be something, because I know Epic like scales the capsule up just a fraction more when they do their height check. So let's try it with one first, please. Please. Hello. Can I click the button, please, Epic? Apparently not. I've just got like 800 Windows notification things. Okay, every time I open Rider, I just get spammed with like Windows notification sounds, and I can't open the side panel anymore. That's brilliant. I need to... Something's up with the Rider. Okay, buddy, where are you? Get end tasked, bitch. And now I can reopen it. I don't know why it's doing that. That's really weird. Womp womp. Okay, well, at least the horrible is gone now, so. what did you want to discuss, Josh? Because I know you had some thoughts on the like crouching stuff. I think Josh is gone. I just gotta wait for Ryder to go through its whole project loading process, which takes an unfortunately long time. But we'll get there. All right, let's build and see what happens.
I just noticed my mic's been muted this entire time while I've been talking. Oh my god.
I was like, oh, all right, maybe you're gone. That's okay. But
Alright, so God, I don't even know when I caught that. This is like the issue with like touch sensitive mute buttons.
yeah,
Sometimes I just unintentionally catch them. But yeah, anyway, I'm saying, quick rundown because I can't remember to speak for like past 5 minutes. So I just spoken when I'm muted. I think crouching should also be gameplay ability because then everything is gameplay ability. It also gives us the benefit with obviously the access to blocking tags or all out with the crouching, and it keeps it all unified that everything is gameplay ability in that regards of like a state change and all that kind of stuff like prone, sprint, that lot.
yeah, that
And
may be more feasible now that I have a custom crouch implementation.
that also.
I can also confirm that this does indeed fix crouching.
Good.
The problem now is that I'm pretty sure that that just removed all of the essentially the protections that are in place for like when you crouch under like a tall structure. So yeah, you can just lodge your head into things now.
Well, that's easily added.
And we still got that
I mean,
issue. No,
it's only gonna be a few lines of code.
Well, I'd like to just reuse.
Oh yeah, just yoink it if needs be.
Okay. People on the stream, people watching the stream, I've got a question for you, and I'd love to hear your input. If you crouch, so I'll demonstrate the situation for you, right? I'm here. I need to crouch under this 150 unit tall wall to get under it. I'm going to crouch once, so my character's going to crouch. I'm going to walk forward, and then I'm going to try to uncrouch here. Okay, so I can't actually uncrouch. I can't stand up because there isn't enough space, so my character isn't going to stand up. Now, if I try to stand up and then walk forward, would you prefer the behavior where because the crouch failed there, I stay in crouch? Or would you prefer behavior where trying to uncrouch here, you then move out and immediately uncrouch upon getting to a place where you can uncrouch? So essentially, if you try to stand up but can't, would you like your character to automatically stand up once you leave the area where you can't stand up? Or would you like it to just fail and stay in the crouched state?
Can I add my opinion in as well?
Absolutely.
Yeah, keep it failed. As in, don't uncrouch automatically. Like, don't have any like queuing system.
Okay. So essentially, valued members
because you might
of the
accidentally
stream
catch
chat.
it.
Yeah.
And
valued
then
members of
you
the
come out of cover, crouch.
No,
It's
I
like,
see I see the logic. But valued members of the stream chat, if you could let us know whether you want auto uncrouch or um I don't know, abort uncrouch. So auto or abort. Those are your two choices. I'd love to hear your thoughts.
I don't
Same
really
as
call it
Josh.
auto. It's like a queue.
Cute. Auto is just easier to write and to explain, I suppose. But yeah, so same as Josh. So abort crouch. Okay. Because that means we can sort of cut down on, because a lot of the stuff that Epic does.
I mean, that is more useful if it's like a platformer, because that's kind of like platformer stuff. For example, like if you're falling on you but you want to jump immediately, you technically press jump before you even land, but it'll register that you hit jump and queue it. So that as soon as you land, then it will commit the jump. It's a whole platformer thing. I wouldn't really class it as like an FPS thing.
It's funny to me how
I just love our animation. The guy just sinks his legs into the ground.
replication, huh?
Oh, we love replication, don't we?
Because like I can, if I uncrouch on one side, right, it looks perfectly smooth, and the other side is like bouncing around.
Replication. Yeah.
Oh god.
Another reason why I want everything as gameplay, but it is like tags, at least with that tick box tick to where it's at, are replicated. Don't have to worry about that stuff that handles behind the scenes.
I mean, to be fair, like replicating a boolean is not hard.
Oh, yeah. I mean, to be fair, you'd be surprised sometimes it has cause me issues. It depends on the use case. Replication is that goddamn technical that it actually varies on the use case. If it
Yeah, I'm
wants to
aware.
replicate easy or not.
I'm aware.
Because like sometimes, just setting the variable to replicate it just sorts it. Woo, done. Over time, it's like, yeah, that don't work. You gotta do it via rep notify. It's like, yeah.
Yeah. I'm wondering if maybe we just fake this, to be honest.
Oh.
Because I don't think, or the way that I'm looking at Crouch right now, right, having seen Epic's implementation and how much trouble it would be getting that to work with like a tick system.
Oh.
Like, I'm wondering if it's not perhaps smarter to just do it purely animation driven for third person. And I mean, obviously, you're still going to have to modify the capsule height, but that will be done through, that will be just like snapped, you know, the way that it is now.
Yeah.
And then essentially, you just interpolate just add a camera damper. Because the way that, I forget, but I'm pretty sure the way that our hierarchy is set up is that it's
It's
a spring arm component.
the spring arm, yeah.
Yeah, so if we can add like a, I mean, spring arm already has fucking camera lag, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So I wonder if you just, I'm gonna check out the character.
The only issue with having a camera lag enabled is that it also takes in the fact of movement.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I don't really see camera lag either way. The only thing instead of a tick is that we do it in Blueprint and just use a timeline.
The problem that you'll run into is that the character movement component sort of runs off of the assumption that this is like a pure stateful change, right? So it's a boolean, right? You're either crouched or you're not crouched. There's none of that transitional state.
Oh yeah, I mean the animation works the same. I mean, Rejog my memory with transitions, because I know there's a way with transitions that you can slot in an animation during the transition. Oh, it's a variable somewhere.
Okay, back to my Vim commands. God bless. Yeah, I agree with you, Ferky. I think that's in general what we're the conclusion that we are coming to. I definitely I didn't really consider it in the matter of like actually in game, which I probably should have, but it definitely makes a sense that like if I try and uncrouch in a trench and realize I can't and then move somewhere, then it shouldn't automatically uncrouch me right into an enemy line of fire. So let's see, enable camera lag. Okay, what if I do like a 0.5? This should be ridiculously slow. What a weird effect. This is rotation lag. This is just... This is what you use in game trailers to make... like movements appear smoother. But there's like a... what's it called?
Oh. Right.
It's a player camera manager. Oop. Okay, let's revert. This is tricky. It's actually very tricky. Ugh. I don't really have a good solution to this. That's the problem. Like every solution kind of sucks. This is where game dev gets tricky, folks. I've spent like a week or two on this already, and I've still just got to crouch. Let me do some Googling. this is not the most exciting of programming sessions. Um, I'll just briefly explain the problem so you have some idea of sort of what's going on. The issue is basically when we crouch, the quote unquote best way to do it is to instantly swap between the standing height and the crouched height. It's very simple for networking. It's very consistent for stuff like hit detection or collision detection for figuring out if you can or cannot crouch, or rather stand up. The trickier bit is making that smooth, because you've got a couple of approaches. One of them is what I've just tried, where I interpolate the actual height of the capsule, but as you saw, that wasn't working very well in multiplayer. I'm sure I could smooth it out more, but it's just not particularly elegant. It's just tricky. You can use like an interpolation of some kind. It's just I'm gonna do some Googling. That's this looks fairly
Oh, I'm back. How's it going?
welcome back.
Sounds like you're having a wonderful time.
It's brutal. It's
Wow, what's the issue?
no worries, Tenafix. Cheers for tuning in. Enjoy your sleep. Good night. I'm just gonna continue suffering here.
What's the issue?
The issue is it's really difficult to make a smooth crouch. Because, like, realistically, what are your options? Your options are either smoothing the actual capsule size change.
I mean, what I'd be tempted to do somehow is have it run via a curve.
I mean, in theory, we can have, like, on the client, we can have some sort of curve offset for
Well, it only has to be on client because
yeah, the server doesn't matter here.
yeah,
That's one of the reasons why I would maybe stick with this approach, just because on the server it's a lot easier. Right.
is everything.
Um, Furky, does the head's hitbox have to do anything here? Not really.
No.
It's mostly, if I open this up for you, you'll see what we're kind of discussing. There's this main hitbox around the character, this pill looking thing, and this is what handles all the movement. This is just a visualization. This doesn't actually have any influence on the way that the character moves. Your character is essentially this big capsule, and when crouched, we make the half height smaller, which, as you can see here, just kind of scales this thing, and it just can be a little bit tricky sometimes getting that to look good, because by default the Unreal Engine movement system that we're using just snaps it, and so crouch is really snappy and doesn't feel very good. It's just, yeah. So I'm watching this guy on YouTube who has some sort of
I mean, the way it would be is that during the transition to crouching,
yeah.
though this is going to be weird. So it's like from the player's perspective, obviously they'll be lurping down to the crouch state, but code-wise, they won't actually enter the crouch state till that lerp has met the endpoint, which is the same as the crouch state, and then it switched to crouched.
I would probably make it so that the second you hit the crouch button, it switches the crouch state. I would keep that fairly consistent.
Yeah.
What I'm seeing in this video online, that the guy's doing is essentially the second approach, which is you interpolate the camera itself. In this case, it's the crouch eye offset that he's working with.
Right.
And the way he's doing that is just on tick. Apparently this looks terrible when jumping, according to the comments. The arms mesh is snapping back and forth, resulting in jittery movement. So it's not perfect either. It's just tricky. What does this guy do? Is this another tick? Yeah, this is another tick approach. Everyone uses tick. Bastards. The only thing I can really think of, and this is goofy as hell, and I also have no idea how I would do this, or if it's even technically like a possibility, but imagine basically like attaching the spring arm component that we use to get rotation and stuff. Well, I guess there's two approaches, right? One approach is that you attach your gun to the camera as opposed to the camera to the gun. That makes stuff like aligning the camera with the gun a little bit trickier. but in theory, you can move the camera and the gun will move along with it, and the hands will move along with it as well. Which the hands are the important bit, actually. Another option is that you instead of attaching the spring arm component to the capsule component, you attach it to like the root component. Is that even a thing? If I go to our character, do you get what I'm thinking? Like attach it not to the capsule, make it separate from the capsule. So then when the capsule gets smaller, the spring arm should technically still be in the same relative location to the root. Meaning we
I
can
know what you
then
mean.
adjust it with a timeline to move down to a crouched position. So you essentially detach those two from each other.
There's a possibility.
I mean, I'll give reordering the character a shot just because why not? That'll be here.
Because the root at the end of the day is just where the feet are, basically, at the bottom.
But
That's the root.
Right, but the capsule collision is the root component. Unfortunate. I should have known that. Oh well. Back to Google.
The only other thing I can think is, and this is going to sound so bodged.
Oh boy.
But we do love a bit of bodginess. So hear me out.
I will listen.
Right. So, you know how the first person arms and everything or whatever, right? Obviously, they're technically linked to the third person, aren't they? To some degree.
Sure.
Essentially, what I'm thinking is that you attach the first person arms to the third person head bone, but not like a hard attachment, just in the retrospect that we have a bit of code that keeps that.
Just like in the hierarchy.
I mean, maybe not necessarily a hierarchy, but like you have the third person's head bone drive the Z height of the first person arm's Z.
I don't know.
As in, you keep it relative, and if anything, we'll set like a hard coded value for like the position the first person arm's been standing, blah blah blah. But you have the descending factors of the Z height of the third person's head bone drive the thing, because then technically to some extent it's animation driven, but purely only on the Z, so it doesn't like move left or right or anything. It's bodgy, but it's a possibility.
The other thing I'm thinking is maybe it is worth looking into Mover.
I mean, that isn't 5.4. I know it's an experimental, but
is it just
it's somewhere in the source code.
Straight up in the engine?
I think so. I might be plugging that into something probably, but
I thought it was source only, but
I think it's a plugin actually.
Mover plugin, AK Character Mover 2.0 effort as a goal.
I think it's just called Mover.
Yeah, I think it's technically called Mover.
It's called Mover because it's like different. It's not a character movement thing anymore. It's literally just a moving component.
Yeah.
Like it's like the whole purpose of that component is that it's not linked in any way specifically to a character.
Oh no, there you go.
I think I enabled it. Did I enable it?
You did
ages
not enable
back?
it.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
So
So,
I will enable that. Shall I enable tests and examples as well?
sure. I guess that's just gonna have some levels somewhere.
You know what? I'll enable this here, and then I'm gonna make a separate
Fresh
project
project.
that's just a mover
Yeah.
test project. That's fine. Launch the Epic Games launcher. No, I'm not going to share my password.
Nah.
That better launch. Okay. I was just worried that it would like unlock by default, and just share my passwords with the world, which I'm not particularly keen about, actually. Um, you know, I I know this is not a popular belief, but I actually like to keep my passwords private. Like, I don't like sharing them with people.
Caring is caring. That's what my mama told me.
Hmm.
Ah.
This is critical. Fucking lit, bro.
So I'm gonna send you a screenshot.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to weirdly send in multiple screenshots because for some reason this blueprint is like very stretched out, even though it don't need to be. Like there's so many. Gosh, I'm just gonna move the blueprints closer together. One
Gotcha.
sec. I'm just gonna show you what this other project did, which is interesting, and it's utilizing spring arms.
Did they have like a Z spring arm and an X spring arm and a Y spring
They're
arm?
they're essentially affecting the spring arm offset.
Yeah, but it's the same as like affecting the eye offset, right? Like it's, it's a thing you can do.
Yeah. And it's driven by a timeline.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And they're just overriding the on start crouch and whatnot. Actually, I don't know if it's another thing, but it's easily added. And they do the same thing for prone. Because prone is
Interesting.
just a shorter version of crouch in terms of what the
Yeah,
game
yeah.
code cares about.
Large ruled coordinates networking support. Interesting. There's a gameplay interaction plugin, bro. What?
Oh, there's so many game plugins now. And
It's
just
just
give
like
that a
epic.
reference as well. That's that. So
It's just like epic opening up stuff that they've built for Fortnite. Yes. 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 Huh. I didn't expect there to be multiple spring arms.
yeah, I can expect that. I think that's just
Interesting.
because they have like a free aim thing
Interesting.
where they just control the arm.
Anyway, here's Character Mover 2.0 for the folks on stream.
Essentially, actually, because I'm playing. Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
So there's a lot of bloat in this engine, huh?
Nothing new.
Yep. this could, like, I'm worried because it's like super early production stuff for a mover. But I know it's
I
something you
mean,
suggested and I shut down, but I have a feeling you might be right, actually.
from what we're needing to use it for, I think it's got the gist what we're needing it for. Because essentially it's just moving.
No way.
Nothing like particularly crazy about it.
Plugins. Mover.
So there's
Mover
obviously
example.
going to be a load of stuff we will need to code ourselves. That mover probably won't have that character specific stuff, but that's fine. Like obviously the crouching logic everyone to do our settings in terms of like height checks and all that, but that's a piece of piss. That's easy. It's just a trace, if anything.
Why is it so like jittery? It's like, can you see how jittery the movement is over the stream?
What's true? Oh,
Like the movement feels very, it's not smooth. It's just very, I wonder if I haven't configured something correctly.
so also using their iris replication, I'm guessing. No, nothing about this iris replication. I was noticing that code, which is their new replication thing they're slowly switching to.
Interesting.
Because you're noticing like some of my code, I've got this like whole like using with iris like stuff and that. That's the zipping down.
This is, because this looks very in depth. Because there's like ice friction. We. It just feels like very laggy. This is at like 90 FPS. Okay, well let's
There's going to be bound to be quite a few people using it or trying it out.
Yeah, I've seen some. That's the one that I was just on. That's not what I wanted. I feel like this is something that will require a bit more research because I'm not quite sure what I'm doing. Pawns. Animated mani pawn extended. Okay. It's the mapping context. Dash, aim, vault, zipline. Okay, what do the game modes look like? Game state, animated mani pawn. What if I change that to extended animated mani pawn? I mean, my problem with this is that I don't know if that's something you can tell over the stream, but it feels incredibly laggy. Like, it definitely has a lot of appealing features, but teleportation. Yeah, if I look down, tell me if you can see it, but it's like so laggy or so stuttery. I wonder if this is a factor of it running networked, but I don't think so. Yeah, it's not. Ugh. The other alternative is just shelling out for something off the shelf. forget what the name of the freaking movement system is.
Which one?
There's I swear it's something I've starred. There's like, it's on the marketplace as well, and then there's an open source version of it. It's like what is it? Ugh, oh, it's ALS. That's what it is. Advanced Locomotion System v4.
Oh.
ALS community. That's what I'm looking for.
Well, I've heard good things about it.
It's a little outdated, but I don't know if this is like a movement system or do I have ALS?
I think I've got a version of ALS. Don't know which one. Then at one point I think it was on the marketplace for free or something.
I think so too.
Don't know which version it was though.
Yeah, I've got a copy. Because I'd really like to. Because if there's a battle tested multiplayer compatible alternative movement component, then I'm open to looking into using that. But I don't know. Let's see what they've got to say.
Yeah, I mean, there's gonna be a lot of like stuff.
It's also not multiplayer replicated. Yeah.
Yes, there'll be stuff that we have to do.
I wonder, is this just using?
Exactly.
Yeah, this is just.
I remember looking one day.
This is just using character movement.
Thought so.
I like crouched under a thing and then moved out from under it, and it uncrouched automatically, and I was like, I recognize this behavior.
Yeah, it's more. It's not really for movement. It's more just animation wise.
Yeah. Eh, that's not what I wanted. That's got no responses. Nice. Ugh, I feel like okay, we'll do some more research on this and come back on Tuesday the I want to say 19th. Tuesday the 16th. That's Friday. That's the 19th. Um, to be back on stream and do some more work on this movement stuff that's being very annoying and very tricky. But thank you so much for tuning into the stream, everybody who's stuck with us to the end. It's been lovely having you. Hopefully, we'll find some interesting things over the next almost 2 weeks. And we can make some really awesome progress next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, technically. But yeah, thanks so much for tuning in. Lots of love. And we'll see you soon. Bye.